Okay.
Yes.
Hi, Kevin Blanch. I'm here at the Weber State Red Cross Blood Drive, and I want to promote this thing, and I want to talk about, we're going to go for a little walk. You want to do something humanitarian, and you want to help, and everybody says, oh, they're desperate, I call it Pacific genocide, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the new data that's come Channel 6 in San Diego is confirming everything I said, that the sea lions are starving to death, there's no fish in the ocean, or everything. But I'm not about doom and gloom. When I got leukemia, I want people to understand, especially children, without the Red Cross, without their blood, we're all dead. They had to fly blood in for me many times. My platelet count got down to 8. Now, they put a central line in us, a Hickman line in us, and I had no idea. I thought I knew so much about this disease, leukemia, as a professor and as an anti-nuclear until I got it. I didn't understand how much blood we have to have. So what they do, they put this Hickman line in you, and they basically kill you. It's a Hail Mary, and it's the blood. Now, they only use Red Cross blood because of the screening process. Now, my platelets were at 8 twice, and they were out of blood. They had to fly them in on planes, and when it comes to children leukemia, the survival rate is gigantic. And in the early days, they have to chemo those kids, and it's the blood transfusions that keeps them. So you want to do something humanitarian, you go to Red Cross and you give blood, because they're competing with the private ones. And the private ones, our hospital does not trust these private ones because they're not legally mandated by law to screen for AIDS. And a tremendous amount of leukemia patients die from AIDS. And the diagnosis is very similar. So I'm going to put on my shirt. This is what gives you leukemia, and we need to talk about the cause. And I want to talk about what saves you. These is who saves you. Well, let's get it on right. Hello, Kev. I had no clue until I got leukemia. And I was in LDS Bone Marrow Transplant Center, which is the #1 leukemia unit in the world, and they saved my life. I was given 2 months to live. I had so many blood transfusions you wouldn't believe it. My platelet count is still very low. But this is who saves our lives. And so I want to talk about this, and we'll go for a little walk. Let's leave my stuff right there.
Okay.
And so this is the Red Cross and their blood drive here at our beautiful university. I shook both Bobby Kennedy's hand in 1968 and his son a few years later, right in this room. Incredible history, but come in here, it's very easy to do. And I'm telling you, and if you're young, donate your bone marrow. Now, I've pushed for legislation before I even got leukemia that we should be able to sell, young people should be able to sell their bone marrow. Now, there's places that have passed it. It doesn't hurt like it used to be. It's not your father's bone marrow transplants. They're very good at it. It's not that painful. And I've pushed. There are funds available for people that donate their bone marrow. Now, we understand. She just told me LDS, my hospital now is starting to store the bone marrow via the Red Cross. So they do great work. And I'm going to walk you down here, downstairs. They're screening for AIDS today, free. Like I said, it's a $300 test. I want people to understand, I got diagnosed with AIDS when I got sick. That was the misdiagnosis, because the diagnosis on many leukemias and AIDS are exactly the same. Now, if you have that certificate, because it's not just sexually transmitted or needle, blood transfusions. If you've ever had a blood transfusion, there's a possibility that you have it. And so the misdiagnosis. So if you have that for your doctor, by the way, I have my fight going with John Huntsman, but that's one thing that he did do. He did push forward the computerization of our medical records. So if they have that, boy, it helps these doctors out tremendously. The misdiagnosis almost cost me my life. And I had dozens and dozens and dozens, probably hundreds of bags of blood, platelets, actual blood. Like I said, I was down to 8. They had to fly it in because they only use Red Cross. Now, downstairs, they're testing for HIV. Let's go for a walk as I talk about the confirmation of the data coming out. Channel 6 in San Diego has done it. Everything that I've said, which I've been saying so many times, they're confirming that the mass die-off in the Pacific Ocean is the genocide, as I named it the Pacific genocide all those years ago. All the confirmation in the world's coming out now. I've been down there. I spent my whole freaking path fighting this in critical condition in California, next to the Pacific Ocean, talking to marine biologists. They're like, it's dying, it's dying, it's dying. Now we're finally getting local media down there, which local media did do some great work as far as San Onofre. Without them, we were leaking stuff from my room, and you know, Googling Blue Castle nuclear. So you're going to get me in a bone marrow transplant. Worst thing that ever happened to Blue Castle and that dirty, corrupt thing. But we're going to walk down here. We'll talk to these guys. Free HIV screening. And if you've ever had, because when you get sick, now like I said, these other blood places, they don't trust them because it's not legislated and mandated by law that they screen for these diseases. So these bone marrow transplant and these leukemia units will only use red cross blood. And so they're trying to compete with people that pay. So these guys right here, I mean, it's a great thing that they're doing. I mean, they don't have any money. They have very small, limited federal funding. Well, not even federal. And so anyway, they're right here. And so you come in here and they'll give you the free, which I'm telling you, if you ever get diagnosed, so many people are, and like, I want people to understand, I'm not about doom and gloom. I've survived this brutal disease, and I'm about fighting back on the Pacific Ocean. I'm not just going to stand by and let the whole thing die, and I'm just going to say, oh, just enjoy your life, lay down and die. Oh no, I'm the believer that human beings were meant to fight. I'm going to fight for them. I'm going to fight for my children. Just like I fought through the cancer. My doctor said it perfectly, Kevin. Vincent Hansen, who saved my life. He says, Kevin, this cancer's so brutal in you, I wouldn't even say this about many people because the treatment's so hard, I would send most people home to die. But I know you're a fighter. I know your intensity. I know your past since a little boy. Go down there and fight. I have hope for you. I have hope for everyone, especially my kids and my grandkids, and I have hope for the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, it's been genocided. Can it make a comeback? Let's hope. But first off, we have to stop it. We have to make sure public awareness. Now, this is coming out of Channel 6 in San Diego. It's finally saying, hey, you know, the Pacific genocide is on. Hello, the emperor has no clothes. I've talked to every marine biology department. You know, Gloria and I protested the scripts. You've seen all my videos protesting in Southern California. You know, the USS Reagan. I'm supporting those guys. I've been there the whole time because that lawsuit's going to be a big deal in San Diego. So, you know, that's what you can do. You want to help this cause? So many people are going to go leukemia, and when it comes your turn, I'm here to tell you that blood shortages all the time. It almost cost me my life. And I have a common blood. So, donate blood. Donate your bone marrow. Stay in tune. Like I said, Pacific genocide is very, very real. It's not hopeless. We have to get a group of us that are willing to fight back in an intelligent way. Professors, scientists, and we need some of you marine biologists, scientists to quit playing on the winning team and come out of denial and get on our side as anti-nuclear activists, as environmentalists, as human rights activists. You're not on the winning team, and you're not above getting leukemia. You need to jump ship and start helping us. And like I said, thank God for the Red Cross. They saved my life. They saved my life, literally. Stay in tune.